Want to learn how to make this delicious savory Japanese pancake called Okonomiyaki? If you do, watch this video. Let me sit down.
Okay, sit in your seat.
Okay.
Hello and welcome to Nathan's Ramblings. Recipes, reviews, and ramblings. Today we're making Okonomiyaki.
That's right, today we're making Okonomiyaki. For those of you who don't know, Nathan's adopted and he is half Japanese.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, you are. So we try to make Japanese food that we can use to introduce Nathan to some of his culture, some of his heritage. And we're going to make today Okonomiyaki. It is a Japanese savory pancake made with cabbage, flour, broth, and a bunch of other ingredients. And the cool thing about it is that you can put whatever you want into it. Okonomi literally means what you like. And yaki means fried or griddled. So Okonomiyaki means as you like griddled. It's known in Osaka as soul food or Japanese pizza. So although it's called a pancake and it's a savory pancake, it's much more like a pizza. You can add into it whatever you'd like. And I'll have a bunch of suggestions as we get cooking. But we're going to start and we're going to do a basic one with some pork belly. You could use bacon instead, but I have some pork belly that we're going to do on the griddle later tonight for our teppanyaki, and we'll use the pork, some of the sliced thin pork belly for this. I'll show you that later. All right, to get started, we're going to make a sauce that will go on top. It's kind of like a barbecue sauce, so we'll get started with that. We're going to start with 4 tablespoons of ketchup. To that, we're going to add, 3.5 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire sauce.
Oh yes, Worcestershire sauce. We're going to add to that 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce. Here, it's not really going to pour. Use that, and there you go. Scoop it out because you're going to mix it with that spoon. All right, here.
Let me make it with my whisk.
And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons. I'm sorry, 1.5 tablespoons of honey. I'm going to do this because it's very sticky.
I love honey.
Yeah, I know you do. So.
Bees like honey.
Bees make the honey, right?
Yeah.
So 1.5 tablespoons of honey. Okay.
Here we go. What other ingredients?
Well, this is it for the sauce. You mix it slowly, very slowly. Okay. So it's 4 tablespoons of ketchup, 1.5 tablespoons of honey, 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, and 3.5 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Easy, easy, easy.
What should we do next?
All right.
Let's add some more ingredients.
All right.
Well, I can't wait.
What are you gonna do? All right. Now that we've got the sauce made, we'll put this off to the side and we're gonna make the pancake itself. So we're gonna start with 1 2/3 cup of all-purpose flour.
Let me do the all-purpose.
Okay, just be careful. Do not drop it into the bowl. Okay.
Look. I did it.
Okay, good job. All right.
It's more.
Okay. Oh, easy, easy. Okay, let's put this out of the way. To that, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of, half a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of baking soda, a half a teaspoon of sea salt. Okay, and you're going to whisk that slowly.
Okay.
All right, let's stack these up and get them out of the way. And you whisk that slowly.
Okay.
Good job. You're whisking, yep. We
We
have all of our dry ingredients added. I have 2 cups of water here, and you could absolutely just use plain water. You could use chicken broth. What I have here is some dashi powder. And dashi is a Japanese broth.
Let me do it.
Okay, go ahead, pour that in the water.
Let me do it.
All right, pour it in the water.
Go.
Okay, so dashi is Japanese broth. It's traditionally made with bonito and often mushroom, seaweed. It is basically a very umami broth, but that's what we're going to use. So you can get dashi comes in a powder form like this. I got this on Amazon. There'll be a link down below. So Nathan stirred this all up. So I'm going to try to make this really traditional or somewhat traditional. There's some things that are special ingredients which I have not tracked and sourced. There's traditionally a yam called nagamo, which is used to give some lift. We are substituting the 1 teaspoon of baking soda in place of the nagamo. It's a yam which you would grate. It makes a very sticky ingredient which you would then add. It actually can give you a rash. They recommend you wear gloves when you grate it. So I didn't source that. We're going to use baking powder instead. Another traditional ingredient in this is tempura leftovers or scraps. And in place of that, we're going to use panko breadcrumbs. I've heard of people using potato chips or shrimp chips. So we're not using that. And one other thing is there's a red pickled ginger, which is very difficult to find. I could order it from Amazon. I am just using some regular pickled sushi ginger, which you can substitute as well. Again, you don't have to put these ingredients in. You definitely don't need the dashi. You could use regular water. All right, we're going to pour in our half a cup of panko breadcrumbs. Again, that's the alternative to the tempura flakes or tempura scraps. Go ahead, pour it in.
Okay.
All right, I want you to stir that around a little bit.
Okay.
All right, easy. Okay. All right, now add the broth. Okay. Add the dashi broth. So this is 2 cups of dashi broth.
Dashi broth.
Okay. All right, and I'm going to stir this in because I don't want it to be all over the place. Okay.
This cup is really heavy.
All right, let me see that. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay. To this, I'm going to add 4 eggs. And we don't get shells in it. All right.
What's a shell mean?
The shell of the egg, baby. So we're adding 4 eggs.
1, 2. What's in that bowl?
And there we go. I add the whole shell to it. Okay.
Why are the oils in there?
What? They're the yolks. Okay, so I'm going to kind of whisk those in the middle, and then we'll slowly mix it in. All right, help me. To that, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of pickled ginger.
Add the pickled ginger.
Add the pickled ginger. Okay. All right. We are going to add the whites.
Add the whites.
All right, wait. That's this part. Leave the green part. We're gonna keep the green part for the topping. We'll take the whites and we'll put that right in the batter. So here, I'll hold this, and you wipe all those into the batter. Okay. All right. Good job. Okay, so we'll save the green parts for some of the topping, and there's a bunch of different toppings we're gonna add. Including the green onions, we'll do the bonito flakes, the sauce which we made, Japanese mayonnaise, some more pickled ginger. So we'll give this a little bit of a stir. And the last thing we're going to add is 3 cups of finely shredded, what is this?
What is this?
Cabbage.
I'll do cabbage.
Okay, here. Let me help you.
Let me do the cabbage.
Okay, do the cabbage.
I'll do it on my own.
Okay, look what you're doing on your own. Okay, great. Thank you. This bowl might be a little small. There are a couple different types of... That's yummy. There are a couple different types of okonomiyaki. This is a traditional Osakan style okonomiyaki. The other popular style is Hiroshima style. And the difference in Hiroshima is rather than having a batter with everything mixed in like this, they use a stacking technique where they'll put the cabbage down, they'll put the batter on top, then there'll be...
Let me try some of this.
Okay, try some of that. Then it'll be...
Yummy!
The meat. They'll also use udon noodles or yakisoba noodles. So it's a little bit of a different style.
Spicy!
It's spicy?
Spicy!
All right, here, wipe your hand. You got batter on your hand. That was scallion. That's what was spicy. Okay, so we've got our batter here. We're going to go out to the Blackstone, and we're going to make this on the Blackstone. I have some, as I mentioned, you could use bacon. I'm going to use some pork belly. You could use shrimp, you could use calamari, octopus. You could put vegetables in it like bean sprouts or corn or mushrooms. Kimchi is another popular modern alternative. Let's head out to the griddle and we'll get started out there. We're out at the Blackstone. It's heated up to a medium high. I'm going to start with some clarified butter I made the other day. I'm going to throw it on here. We'll spread that around a little bit. We're going to make 2 of these. We'll spread it around. I'm going to use this pork belly. This has been cooking in the sous vide for, I don't know, about 6 hours. It's going to go 10, and I'm going to make it in chunks tonight on the Blackstone Griddle. I already have a video for that. The link's up there. It's a great recipe. Yes, I'm doing it in the sous vide. You could totally do it in a crock pot, but we're going to go with these. So I'm going to put the pork belly down. We'll get this crisped up a little bit. Put it all on there. Again, you could totally use bacon for this. This does not have to be pork belly, but this is what I had. Just leave these on there, crisp them up a little, and then we'll get to making that pancake. One side is browned up. Again, this is cooked through already, so it's browned up pretty quickly. I'm going to flip it over and we're going to make the pancake. I'm going to try to arrange this into 2 pancakes. One there. Another one here. So we've got our bacon arranged. Or I apologize, our pork belly. Again, you could totally use bacon. You could use shrimp, calamari, whatever you like. And we're going to now spoon this mixture out. We're going to try to divide it pretty evenly and spoon it into 2 separate pancakes. And we don't want to push it down. We want it to be pretty tall. Tell you what, I don't know if we're going to have enough for 2. We'll make these a little closer and we'll make a smaller pancake. You only want to push this down to about 1 inch to 1/2 inch tall. This is about 1 inch right now. So make one big one, one a little smaller. Okay. And then we are going to cover it. So I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit. And I'm going to cover this one with the dome. The other one I will have to just cover with a tin pan. I'll go grab one. I'll be right back. Here's a tin pan. Great alternative if you don't have a steam dome. These little dollar pans. We buy them in big batches of about 20 at BJ's or Costco. Great to have. I'm going to put that right there. Just throw my spatula on it so it doesn't blow away. Alright, we're going to let this cook. We want it to cook through. And then when it's almost all the way cooked through, we'll flip it over. They've been under here for about 15 minutes. Let's take a look at them. We'll look at the small one first. Not too bad. Almost cooked all the way through. Put this off to the side. Let's take a look at the big one. Not bad. Okay, let's flip the small one first. I should be able to do it without a problem with these spatulas. Okay, and now this big one. I could try to do it with these two spatulas. I could try to do it with this spatula. So we got our regular spatula. We have the Blackstone burger spatula, a little bit bigger. Or the big daddy of them all. Let's give this a try. Perfect. I'm going to cover these back up and we'll let them cook on the other side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the smaller one, I'm going to leave it pretty plain. My wife does not care for a lot of the Asian, the barbecue sauce style, that thing that we're going to put on here. So I'm going to leave it pretty plain for my wife. Mine will do the whole topping, including the pickled ginger, the scallions, the barbecue sauce, the mayonnaise, and the bonito flakes, as well as some aonori and sesame seeds. So I'll see you back here in a few minutes. They've gone about another 10 minutes or so on the other side. I think they're ready to come off. Let's take a look. We'll do the small one first again. All right. Nice and brown on the bottom. I'm just going to plate this one up for my wife. Okay, there we go. Let's take a look at the second one. That looks great. Definitely could have gone with more pork or bacon. Fine, it is what it is. Let's use the Big Daddy spatula again. You know what, this one I'm going to dress right on the griddle. So, traditionally this is how it's dressed. First you take that barbecue-like sauce we made before and brush the whole top. Now that's brushed all over. We are going to drizzle it with some Kewpie Japanese mayonnaise. I know you can't see the label. This again, available on Amazon. I'll post a link down below. And this we're going to do a little zigzag pattern. Okay, here's our Japanese mayo. We're going to sprinkle it with some green onions. Some pickled ginger. We've got the green onions on there, some pickled ginger. I'm going to put some of this, which is a mix of sesame seed and aonori. So we'll put some of this on there. We're going to top it with some bonito flakes. Oh. The bonito flakes have a very strong fish smell. If you don't care for fish, you're not going to want to use these at all. All right, and that's it. It is all topped. Traditionally, at this point, it would be cut up right on the griddle and served. So I'll cut a wedge of this. Make sure we get some of that pork belly in there. Okay. And serve up a wedge just like that. There you can see that's addressed. Basically how you get it if you were to go to an Okonomiyaki restaurant in Osaka. So here it is. Again, this is dressed basically how you get it if you went to an Okonomiyaki restaurant in Osaka. Let's give it a try. Cheers. Oh my God, so good. This is fantastic. You absolutely have to try this recipe. You don't have to go overboard with all the Japanese specialty ingredients. Look down below in the description and I'll have a simplified recipe as well as the full recipe. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe, ring that bell to be notified of all new posts that I post like this. We'll see you next time. Thanks again, everybody.